building is built
Grit
just
removal.
to remove the stuff that people shouldn't flush. That's it. So everything's coming in our main here. If you guys see, there's some kind of well, actually it's just a sump area over there, and it's got some line around it, and those hoses over there. What that is that's where all the influence coming into the plant. From here, we're bumping it from underneath, and then it's going up. So you'll notice we're going to start climbing stairs, and then we're slowly going to end up at ground level. Why is that important? Use gravity to our advantage. All right, so we're going to go in, guys. It will change. The odor will change. Yeah, like I said, all
Grit removal inside here.
I'm going to show you guys today is 8th grade technology. We've taken a beaker filled up with sand, put a stir rod in, stuck on a stir plate. What happens when you stir it up? All the dirt goes to the edge, right? Down to the beaker. Do the same thing. We're just spinning the water. All the grit comes out, and sort of pulling it down. The other thing I will note, there's no odor in here. Important to note because that's just the auger moving over all the screening. We're pulling out the odor is there from above. So everybody can notice that. Can you kind of feel a little chilly here? We've got a good rush of air coming. That's because what the normal air exchange rate is about. We're supposed to have 6 in a room, we actually double that. So that we're constantly pulling out all the H2S. Because in an enclosed environment like this, we have an issue with H2S because that part with hydrogen sulfide is that it mixes with moisture, becomes acid. You can imagine if we just started pouring acid all over all our metal and all of our concrete, we could score the brick, the block, we could score all the metal, create a lot of issues. It's important to constantly have those air exchanges happening. The other thing about this room that's kind of cool is you can look and notice all the grit and gravel. I always point this out. Why do we end up with so much grit and gravel in the system? Folks are not dumping rocks and dirt down their pipes. Anybody guess why that is? Very slight here. We don't actually, this is a single, this is not, we don't have a collection as far as like everything goes in Vancouver that goes into the storm drains, actually goes out to the river. For us, is that? So we end up with small breaks in the lines, right? That we haven't done yet. So that's when we start siphoning in, so that's where we end up with some of this from. And then eventually that's going to be
GED coming in today, Vancouver.
This is where all the sewer water is being pumped up, bringing it up from the sump and dropping it across. So now it's coming through these screens. If you look behind you, these screens are designed for anything wider than those bar screens are going to get hung up on. That radar is going to pull down and it's going to pull everything up and drop it on the other side into that auger. That's going to get up into the room, hit the big old press all the water out of it, and then that goes into one of the bins and stop downstairs. The issue that we have is that this entire area has been built just because we want to flush the things they should do. So now I always bring this thing up, and I just as a speaking point for anybody, who might want to stick a $1 bill in their mouth. If we do find money, I get the question a lot, man, you got any money? Cool, yeah, we find money. So guess what we do with that money? We get enough money, we buy pizza. So that goes for the Domino's guy. That might end up being the one who got in their pocket. That might be the one somebody might stick in their mouth. So unless you're 100% certain that $1 bill is not the one to be pulled out of here, then we're back to you. I mean, 90-foot primaries to be able to have as many as we need. Now, when the plant was built, at the time the plant was built, 2 of the fastest growing counties in the nation were both named Clark. One being here, Clark County, Washington, the other one being in Nevada, Las Vegas. So the plant was built with intention of expansion and everything, everything being the same at that time. They figured if they needed to expand the plant, they didn't want to have to rebuild the whole side. So everything on this plant is already piped in, ready, so they can pour in new primaries. Yes, sir. The plant was built when? 1995. Came online in late 95. And I brought up earlier, we were actually put to the true test in 96, the Great Flood. We did not bypass. We did not have any issues. We still maintained complete treatment all the way through the entire flood. We did have water in our parking lot. We did have standing water in the parking lot. From the road. Peak design is 19.
You're probably one of the only ones that were able to do that.
There wasn't very many along this area, this stretch, that were able to do that. And in fact, I was discussing with our vice president about that whole situation, and he said that he was standing at the headworks with Public Works Director, City Manager, and somebody from Department of Ecology, and they had all said if it reaches that level, you've done all you can do. And by whatever grace of God or whatever you want to call it, the water actually held steady and then receded slowly the next day. So we just kept maintaining. But we had our effluent pumps on. We were pushing hard. Right? And I wasn't lying, guys. Sometimes we get a little funky in some rooms that we didn't have others. So one of the cool things about this room is this gives a very good speaking point. I always bring up one thing about when I'm talking to, because we do tours for everybody from the collegiate level all the way through water professionals down to elementary school. So I asked them the same question. What do you guys know of Richard Nixon? And usually they go, he's bad president, got impeached. Well, in some circles, some tend to think of him as bad president. In others, environmental circles, we go, hey, 1972 Clean Water Act. Want to point something else? What's going on with those weirs prior to 1972 wasn't legal to discharge into any stream or river. So think about that. So it's always kind of, you got to look at things from a different reference point or a different perspective sometimes. Prior to that, that wasn't what was going in. Guys, all we've done is let all the settlables settle out in the primaries. That's all that happens. When we're going and taking out the big stuff, we're still putting in, and that's still got a lot of total suspended solids at this point. So, and nothing removing any of the bacteria. So we're still dealing with that. All right, let's go ahead and hit on.
Effluent weirs, 1972, that was legal discharge. Clearly not anymore.
Primary and secondary solids from here, and the primary and secondary solids from our west side facility.
You said it's medical grade, so is it enclosed?
It's completely enclosed system, and it's a 4-story tall building, and we incinerate at 1,600 degrees.
You said it was 2 tons of dry solids per hour?
Yeah.
So you have a fleet of trucks.
No, actually, we actually just put all the solids back, hits the force main, and goes right into the other plant. So from there, then we remove it. And it's not as solid as you'd think at that point. It's still pretty liquid.
Sure.
It's just a lot, it's a little bit thicker, but not really even measurable really at that point.
So it's just pumped over to that solid scum.
Yep. All it does, we just have another pump, and it just puts it right, just force feeds it right into the main and sends it on its way.
How far away is that?
7 miles.
What kind of horsepower?
300.
How many of those are?
We only actually we can feed it with one.
Any idea?
Entry and repair down here. That's how big.
So this is how you get the idea of just how deep these things are. When I was talking about the final how they're wound up in there. So how these work is
Huge.
so the best way to describe it right here is the feed zone. Bacteria are starting to eat up all the organic material that's coming off the primaries. As they slowly make their way out, they'll settle out. If you notice, there is something here we call return activated sludge. So the RAS lines come back forward. See these 2 red lines with black tips on them? Drop down, that's what's sending that RAS back to the front of it and letting it eat it up one more time.
Turn that.
You have 6 of these.
You have 6 aeration?
Yes.
6 aeration basements.
What's that? Same thing, 177.
6 primaries, 177. 6 aeration basins, 177.
6 primary clarifiers at 177. 6 aeration basins at 177. Pretty.
Why do they go with that? So that's just our jet motor pump that pushes everything down. So that was out, but of course that's why we start playing every other system. No showers, no flushing, like that pump's on back for 5 weeks. Yeah, so we're actually we don't even have it. We don't even use all 5 right now. We're only burning on 2. Yeah. That was another thing we did for efficiency reasons. We realized that we could do efficient removal and by just running the 2 instead of running the 3 how we used to do. So the part of that whole study that we did, that was one of the things we realized we could do.
Do you typically have 2 on, 4 off?
Yep. And those were running all the time, so.
2 on, 4 off.
Cool as well. All right, let's go next one. These were built this way, again, just with the true route in mind. This facility was actually built with having tours done at this plant in mind. We noticed when we were in the headworks area, we had no valve handles were turned inwards. You notice even the diamond plate, even all the open grating had covers over it. That's so that in case we had anybody coming in that wasn't wearing proper shoes, we wouldn't have to worry about like a heel going through. When we had Senator Murray here, I didn't have to worry about Senator Murray breaking her ankle when she came in her high heels. So that was kind of one of the cool things. So with this right here, guys, what you're looking at, this is our secondary clarifier. Flow comes to the center, comes through the ring, drops in. These again are 20 feet, so it's kind of deceiving. We're looking at them at ground level. They still drop down 20 feet. Rotating ducting skimmer, again, the 3 parts of wastewater, stuff that floats, stuff that sinks. We're letting it do that, so it's separating out from here. You notice where our effluent looks like coming off of these. So that's our secondary effluent. Pretty clear now. We're starting to really clear it up quite a bit. From here, it goes over to our UV disinfection, and from there out to the river.
From here it goes to where?
UV.
Yeah. Pretty easy to remember, right?
What's the river?
Everything 177.
No, we have 4 total, but we only run 2. All right.
Columbia River.
Yes, sir. Somebody else? We have 4 secondary clarifiers.
Are they all being used?
No, we only use 2 at a time. We have 4 secondary clarifiers, and we only use 2 at a time.
Yep.
And then from there, they're settling. So now all it's going to do is everything's settling from there. Is we're going to be pulling out all the floatables are going to go to the stone crop. The other ones are all going to go down into the vault down below, and that goes out as a secondary smoke. Waste activated.
So the bubbling on the sides then, is that
nitrification? Yeah. And that's another point, like when I talk to the grade schools and I bring that up, I'm like, all right, how many of you have been around a pond and you saw the bubbles come up? And you're like, oh yeah, frogs, so good. No, it's not. And so you get a chance to explain nitrogen cycle to them and how that works.
Clark County on a brief program.
We don't actually deal with Clark counties at all. We're just specifically Vancouver, City of Vancouver. So I'm not entirely sure exactly how they're doing what they're doing there.
Yeah, very nice. Good second. You see a little bit of bubble here, bubbling. Inner ring, outer ring. This is 2 stories down. So, and notice all covered. No odors. Good clean. Affluent.
UV disinfection.
The funniest things I think I ever heard it called was we had a this was 5th grade, and a kid called it the Homer Simpson walk. And I was like, I didn't think about it. I was like, oh yeah, great. But what this is the cool thing about having our UV covered. 1, we can do any kind of repairs that we need to do. We don't have to worry about rain, and because it rains sometimes in the west. So another cool thing is our west side facility though is not covered. So we are limited. We can relamp bulbs. We don't have a cover on it. So with that, the cool thing about this room as well is everything being enclosed and right in here, we have it's very easy to monitor. So if you notice how the plant flows in, our west side facility unfortunately was built in Richmond, Florida, retrofitted in the 70s, again in the 90s, 80s and 90s. And we just did another upgrade just last year. So one of the things about that plant, though, is it sits on 20 some odd acres, and everything, our headwork starts here, we go up to the primaries, aeration, secondary, all the way back around, right next to the headwork where our UV is. So it's kind of a long walk. Our people over there are routinely buying everybody new boots, and they're just walking the poles off their boots in the year. So here, everything being linear, it's kind of nice. Everything's nice and laid out. Makes a little more sense when we're talking about it, especially if you're not looking at plans. Behind us are that's our effluent pumps. If the river level ever got up right now, that's the good thing with the river being lower than we are, we're gravity down. If it starts to increase, so something like a flood happens again, we're going to push it right out of the ground. Again, those get exercised, just make sure we get it work. We've only ever had to use them once in our life.
How often do you exercise it?
We actually do testing on them. It's at home.
Quarterly?
So, and there's 4 bays, and we have 6 channels. Yes, and we have 3 banks and bolts in each channel. All right, let's go in about 80, 90, probably. Yeah.
90,000 people, 60 MTD.
14.5 million gallons. That's what it looks like, guys. We're looking at 14.5 million gallons per day. That's what's flowing out. Now, one thing also, there's another one right next to you. What is that? What does that meter say?
Huge Marshall bloom down there.
6.9. That's pH. So now, I want to point something out. Anybody see any chemical being added in? The reason why we don't put chemical in has to come chemical out. This has all been Mother Nature's design. All just pulling it out normal. Now look where we are with our pH. Almost back to normal. So with this one's being discharged to the river. During the flood, we actually had water backed up in the channel. So that was when the decision was made, you know, oh my gosh, if we go any higher, we can't do much because it was going to start flowing into the plant. But with that though, this was designed this way specifically just for what we're doing right now. So everybody can lean over the edge and go, wow, I've never seen an outfall. That's what it looks like. So there is one thing that does happen annually. We put a diver in from the riverside. Now they swim up the channel, they swim up the pipe. So if anybody has aspirations to be a diver, you can also
Take the sampler.
got 90,000.
And a hog. That's what sampler right by the outfall.